And this is M-Day, with an underscore in the title, because that makes sense.
Liverpool Airport has two 2.49TB drives, one for shared stuff and one for user personal area data stuff. You're welcome for this totally useless information. Side rant. The start menu at school in Windows 7 was a mess. Half the programs didn't work and the rest are poorly organised. Granted, the latter can still very easily become the case if you're not careful, like I am, so probably it does for most people and therefore wouldn't seem that abnormal to most people, but never mind, that's not the point. There are a few, like even Discord and Microsoft Teams, that don't work but were presumably attempted to be installed by some student once, like because their installers don't immediately require admin permissions and they install to updates rather than program files. Obviously getting as far as to register a start menu entry but probably not do much or anything else, but you never know, maybe it worked, who knows, who cares, I don't know, not me. I care more than most people it seems, but whatever. Update from September 7th, 2020. Now they've switched most of them anyway. There are a bunch of teacher ones that haven't been changed for whatever reason, and there's the odd one, like one in the media room that's not, but whatever, to Windows 10, and there's now only one map shared area of 290GB and the personal area of 199. I'm very pleased they got rid of the pointless second mapped area and replaced it with just the one at least, so that's something. Update from September 7th, 2020. So I was rummaging through a copy of the app data folders and such, because that's the kind of fun stuff I like to get up to in my spare time, apparently. And I found that, first of all, the old desktop background was stored here. I found that in the custom destinations folders file this, a CHS file 02 is referenced, in which the folder desktops $sign is stored. Within this file is also referenced W10-student as a folder, making me assume that there was/is also W7-student or W07-student for Windows 7. There must also be a staff or whatever teacher equivalent. The CHS file 02/desktops $sign is also referenced in the automatic destinations file this, and is no doubt referenced in other places too. Interesting, every reference I could find to the personal areas themselves refers to CHS file 01 and never 03. Also, in here, we find a massive list of Internet Explorer and Windows Media Player links with increasing bracketed numbers afterwards. When these links were still in the taskbar back in Windows 7, they always had one of these bracketed numbers afterwards, varying between computers and or accounts. So that's obviously where they're stored, but there's obviously a lot more user accounts than all of these links, so I'm not entirely sure what's gone on here. Okay, so now it's the new stuff. The start menu has been organised, we are saved. Let us into settings, all I want to do is activate dark mode. It remembers I turned on the side preview bar, but can't remember I want show checkboxes on. Lol. There's now an app data _win10 folder, as well as the classic, and as far as we care about, the same as it was when we saw it before, app data folder. There's no background in that same folder anymore, which makes sense considering it's just the default Windows 10 background being used now. Want to go in the desktop? Fine. Videos? Fine. Pictures? Fine. Music? Fine. Downloads? Fine, go ahead. In fact, that's an improvement over 7, where you just weren't allowed in there, so stuff would just back up in there and you'd have no way of clearing it, save deleting the whole folder, which I periodically did anyway, but that's me, you know, hey ho. Documents? Fine. 3D objects? How dare you? Who do you think you are? You have the audacity to want to go into the 3D objects folder. You have some nerve, you know. I get it if Paint 3D was blocked or something, but it isn't. It's fine to use that, apparently. Then we have the beauty that is the Multi-Academy Trust Acceptable Use Policy, which, first of all, I would have hyphenated Multi-Academy, but you do you, which is very dull and has never been read, I guarantee, by anyone before I read it in order to notice this. For some reason, they felt the need to end every sentence with full stop, comma, and then just nothing at the end. Now, as much as I know you'd love to read about the Computer Misuse Act 1990 and other appropriate legislation, sadly, my first attempt at capturing this beauty looks like this. Luckily, I delayed this video a day so I could have a second attempt, so there we go. Also, today when I saw this picture, I noticed that there's this one instance where they got the punctuation right, so yeah. Okay. In other news, let's say, theoretically, you want an old letter that's not linked on the website anymore, so you go through the Wayback Machine and click on the link that's no longer accessible on the current version of the website, only to find that the PDF isn't archived.
Oh no!
Well, that doesn't matter, because you can copy that same link out of the Wayback Machine, and it will still work completely fine.
Anyway.
Yes, for some strange reason, the school is still hosting otherwise inaccessible PDFs going back probably years. Why? Who knows? Also, on some related website, they clearly screenshotted this image very quickly after opening it before giving time for the file details thing to fade out, and somehow nobody noticed this, so yeah, there you go.